45-year-old Lisa Osborne Ross and her husband Jeff live in Washington, D.C. Lisa's lifelong career as a professional communicator keeps her busy in areas such as public affairs, crisis management, and even lobbying, all while raising 2 teenage children. But for over 30 years, Lisa has been living with a secret.
I have had what I now know to be episodes associated with IBS, quite frankly, since I was in college, perhaps even in high school.
Irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, is a functional disorder where the gastrointestinal tract and bowel aren't working properly. For some patients, IBS symptoms are minimal and can be managed, but for others, symptoms like stomach cramps, painful constipation, painful diarrhea, bloated or swollen stomach, gas, and heartburn are more difficult to control. IBS often begins before the age of 35, but can start at any age. And there's often a strong genetic role.
My mother has had stomach issues as long as I can remember. I have had stomach issues as long as I can remember. And my mother, who was 84 years old, was just diagnosed with IBS. And she was diagnosed with IBS after watching me go through it.
As with other diseases, seeking help as soon as possible can reduce the risk of complications. However, it's never too late to address the problem.
Patients are often very worried. What does this mean? Is this a risk factor for colon cancer? Is this going to get worse? Am I going to have surgery? And really reassuring patients that generally this is a syndrome that does not result in surgery, is absolutely no way related to colon cancer. While it can cause discomfort, it is something that does not affect how long they're going to live, and actually can be improved so that it doesn't have such a profound effect on quality of life.
A key first step for Lisa was taking a closer look at her diet.
I hadn't been eating as I was supposed to. I had been more high on the protein and not so high on my fiber.
And identifying trigger foods that may make IBS symptoms worse. Those foods include milk products, chocolate, alcohol, caffeine, carbonated drinks, and gas-producing foods like beans and certain vegetables like broccoli and cabbage. And adding fiber a little at a time for patients who have problems with constipation can help. Fiber foods that make IBS symptoms better are bran, whole grain bread, cereals, fruits, and vegetables.
I am now on a regimen that I have to say with all honesty and candor that when I follow it properly, I'm in great shape. I am absolutely terrific.
Medicines can also improve symptoms like diarrhea and constipation and abdominal pain related to IBS. They include laxatives, antidiarrheals, antispasmodics, and antidepressants. It may be necessary to use a combination of therapies for the best possible outcome, including a medicinal and psychological approach. For Lisa, being open to this type of treatment approach helped her regain control of her life and get back to enjoying the everyday things that matter most.